Whitney's got the first down. Sprinting inside the 45. Fighting Lions all the way down to the 42-yard line. Tyrone Wheatley, the battering ram, has a Raider first down. Just then inside the Lion 30. Play action bootleg. Gannon's got room to go. 25-20. And he steps out of bounds.
All right, everybody. How you doing? Captain Jack here. I am on YouTube. I am on Facebook. I'm happy to say that I guess the issue with the restreaming was fixed, which is good. I definitely appreciate y'all joining me tonight. I will admit that I'm playing hurt tonight because I guess I've been looking at a computer all day, and I did put some eye drops in, but unfortunately it's still burning. So I appreciate all you folks that are out there and are on the show watching me right now. I got Jesse Gallegos, Anthony Esparza, Rafael Ravello, Ignacio Hernandez, Jimmy Farrell, and Ryan Nagel over on Facebook, and Bob Dar as well. And of course, Ed Winchell is my stalwart over in YouTube. Thanks that he is there. And I think that obviously I know what the issue. It's going to be the very first thing that everybody talks about. I'm not going there yet. Because what I want to do is I want to go over what I said for months, but they didn't listen to me. That's fine. I'm not a member of the Raiders front office, so I can understand that. By the way, if you like what you see, please throw me some thumbs up both on Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate that. Again, I'm going to be here as long as we have people to call in. It is 11 o'clock Eastern time, a little after 11, obviously. And I'm up. And I will go to bed and strip off. Obviously, this is my regular garb for game day, because to me this is game day. This is the start of the season. I know that everybody says free agency is, I get it, but this is the most fan-friendly portion of the beginning of the season. I want to talk about that too. I want to talk about that as well. First off, I'd like to thank Black Widow, Amanda Bustos, for allowing me to come in to her Zoom chat, along with Julio Armas of the Die Hard Raider Nation in Arizona. I want to thank them as well. Permission granted there, Steve. You are welcome, and you are on board. But it's a very it's hit and miss with my feelings right now. Again, I was out there with on 2 Zoom chats with 2 various groups. And before I get into the draft, I want to say something that's personal to me. Is that if you looked at the draft, when all the other teams had their groups of acknowledged, well-known, recognizable fans, I'll call them super fans, because that's what they are. They were there, on screen, on video. And for the second year in a row, there was nary even a peep about what is the lifeblood of this organization, and that is Raider Nation fans as a whole. We've been there. We've been there through thick and thin. We've watched some god-awful teams, and we were still there supporting the team. We'll be out there to support the team in Vegas when they play in Vegas. But again, the lack of even a tip of the hat, no tip of the hat, to any fans of this proud franchise is, I don't even know if I can, I don't want to be put on record for the right word. It's disheartening, disconcerting, and disrespectful. I'll say that. Again, I understand that the Raiders are looking to make a clean break with into Las Vegas, but when the fans are there supporting you, have been for years, and last year they didn't allow any of the fans, the super fans that dress up, to represent the team. Everybody that was there was in a 19 jersey. No big to-do. They're wearing a 19 Raiders jersey to signify the 2019 draft. But you know Gorilla, you know Violator, you know Joker, who lived right down the street in Tennessee. You know Black Widow Raiderette. You know all of these people, excuse me, that dress out. And if you know me, thank you. But the fact is, not even a nod. Not even a nod. And that, again, disheartening, disconcerting, and disrespectful. And I'll probably get in trouble for saying it. Somebody already gave me a thumbs down. Oh well. But it's the way I feel. And I'm honest about that. So, now that that's done, let's get to the meat of the draft. Mr. Wombat, I was mentioning that for the Raiders, when the Raiders had their picks and all of the teams that were picking, they had a big screen in the back of fans, super fans. Again, don't like the term, but that's what they are. They had a collection of super fans. The entire screen behind the pick were super fans, but not for the Raiders. They had cheerleaders. They had front office types. That's fine. The Raiderettes are a very important part of the team, and I think that they should get more respect. They should get more respect. But I even sent an email to the Raiders the other day saying, hey, I'd be interested in case you guys want to have a portion where we do a remote, because I knew other teams did, because I have friends down here for the Buccaneers, and they were all on screen. So they were represented. Every team was. It was last year too, and this year. No representation. And that's horrible. But again, that's just me blowing off steam. I'm sorry, it's the way I feel. I don't think that the fans are above the team. The team is the team. But the fans are a very important part of the support for that team. They are. They've been there for years, through thick and thin. And that is why when people say that when the Raiders move to Las Vegas, they're going to lose that home field advantage, I can see the issues with the fans that dress up. And they're going to say it's a part of the security for the security for the crowd security. I get it. But I don't wear a mask. I don't wear face paint. My face is my face. I wear a hat. I wear attire. I call this my garb, my uniform. This is not a costume for me. And it's very important for me to be a part of that. But again, I'm just spouting off. So let's get to the actual draft itself. Again, I was on record for the last couple weeks that I would not. I'll get to that, Tito. I will get to that. I was on record, and Matt Bashane, who is a member of the Dog Pound, agrees with me, or maybe agrees that they got a good offensive lineman, which they did need. To be honest, Matt, I know it wasn't. No, I think the Bucs got worse. You guys got a very good offensive lineman. I don't remember exactly who, but you did. You got a very good offensive lineman. But again, at 12, okay, again, I wouldn't want to blow a first-round pick on a wide receiver. I've said that. Mayock has even said that. But again, that's a part of the ruse, the disinformation of what's going on with our picks. Mayock was on record saying that, wide receivers are, I don't know the exact words he used, but they were, kind of flighty for first-round picks, or that they were risky. They were gambles. That's true. I can go right back to some Alabama wide receiver that we picked a couple years ago that can't catch passes. And you know who we're talking about. Who got a big contract. Again, I apologize. My eyes are shut. This Alabama wide receiver got a huge contract for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that the Cowboys made a very good pick in acquiring a pick that everybody said that the Raiders should get. Everyone was saying, hey, CeeDee Lamb, man, that's the pick. No, that wasn't a pick. And I actually agree with the pick if we're going wide receiver in the first round. Okay? If we're going wide receiver in the first round, and not just because he ran the fastest 40. Don't say it harkens back to Al Davis. It does, but this guy can actually catch passes. This guy can actually spread defenses. This guy actually is more of a short burst wide receiver that gets the ball quick and gets humongous YAC, yards after the catch. Okay? 4.27 40, yeah. And by the way, they're showing Jordan Love with the Packers on the clock. I'll keep you updated if they do take him. But again, Henry Ruggs was my pick if we were going to go wide receiver. fastest guy in the draft, good separation, great route runner, doesn't drop a lot of passes, and great separation, and was a really good guy at Alabama. And I'm sure that we got some input from Josh Jacobs on Henry Ruggs III. So I'm happy that if we went wide receiver, that was the wide receiver that we went and got. Again, if you like what you see on Facebook and YouTube, please click like. I appreciate that. I always get a thumbs down. It's amazing. I'm not even gonna say anything. There we go. Do a switch here so you guys can see me profile wise. Again, apologies. Eyes are tired AF as fuck. But I'm gonna be here while we get some phone calls. I'm gonna put that up in a bit. Ruggs is way better than Cooper. Been a lifelong Bama fan. Thank you there, Brian. I agree. I was scared that Jerry Jeudy was going to be the pick because, and by the way, Jordan Love just got picked by the Packers. Jordan Love is going to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a bit, and that's good for them. But Henry Ruggs was a very good receiver. And like I said, I thought he was the best of the receivers that were out there. CeeDee Lamb has got a lot of potential, but he's still a work in progress. I think Ruggs is ready now. So I'm happy about that. Now, what you're going to scratch your head about, and there I'm scratching my head through my tricorn hat, is, and I've been saying it for weeks, if not months. My goodness. You got the 19 pick, and if nothing is really there that you like, trade back. Now, I don't know if because of the fact that this was a virtual draft and there might have been issues with the technology. There was no trades in the first 10, which is amazing because normally there's at least one or two. No trades. So, if there was somebody that wanted to come up, then it wasn't there, or it wasn't postulated, or it was dismissed. So you have the 19 pick. And Ed Winchell, thank you for saying that, because we are fans. We are fans. We are not members of the front office. We are not professional scouts. A lot of people think they are. A lot of people will profess that they know more about the draft and about all of these people that are coming out of college, and they are undoubtedly make better picks than those, and I'm going to kind of like quote, than those knuckleheads in the front office, and this is for all teams. Those knuckleheads in the front office, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Well, that might be so. Because even getting a pick, it's 50-50. It's 50-50. It either pans out or it doesn't. That's it. It either pans out or it doesn't. So the Raiders went after a cornerback. And again, I like the position pick. But unless you are an Ohio State aficionado like Don Webb is, unless you know Ohio State backwards and forwards, sideways and everything else, okay, I defy you to tell me that the pick was awful or that the pick was fantastic. The pick is the pick is the pick. And we'll find out in a little while, in 3 to 5 years, because that's really how you grade a draft. You wait 3 to 5 years, and then you go see if the pick turned out. 3 to 5 years. Now, everybody said that Mayock blew the draft out of the water last year, and that was great. And I hope he does it again. But unless the Raiders trade up into the second round, and they do have some collateral with 3 third-round picks, I think that maybe we're not going to be really seeing anything for a good majority of the draft tomorrow. Because I think the picks go down to, was it like 5 minutes between picks? 5 minutes, I think. So 5 at 32, do the math. I don't know what the math is here. For you, I will actually do the math. Okay. Oh, it's 7. Okay. So 7 times 32. That's 224 minutes. And divided by 60. That is almost 4 hours. Almost 4 hours. So it'll be a lot quicker. Than the 10 minutes we had today. But not by much. 4 hours. Okay? So we'll be here for 4 hours and probably not seeing anything. And then the third round starts, and that is, I think, the 5 minutes between rounds. Or I should say between picks. So there you go. So again, were these picks good? I like Henry Ruggs. In case you have been off the planet for the last hour or so, the Raiders picked an Ohio State cornerback with the 19 pick. And no, it wasn't Jeffrey Okudah because he went number 3 to the Lions. But it was the dude that played on the opposite side of Okudah by the name of Damon Arnette, Ohio State. Now, I looked at some information. The Athletic has a breakdown on him, and unless I want to pay $60 or $89, whatever the hell the subscription fee is, I'm not going to do that. But I did see something from Sports Illustrated which actually had him pegged as a possible pick by the Saints. So it was a, I don't think it was a reach, but again, this is why we have Mike Mayock as our general manager. I am not a scout. I do not watch film 38 hours a day. Yes, I know the math is wrong. I am not a scout. I am a football aficionado that kind of knows what's going on, mostly historical. And I know about my school, which is the University of Florida. That's why I said, Jabari Zuniga would be a nice pick if he's still around in the third round. But that's me. I know my school. I don't know every school. That's not my job. My job is to work doing stuff I can't talk about. That's my job. But I heard, for somebody that does know Ohio State, they said that the kid Arnette, and they mentioned, and I don't know if this is true or not, they mentioned that Chris Carter was his father. I don't know about that, but I know a Chris Carter connection because Chris Carter, the kid went to school at St. Thomas Aquinas High School down in South Florida. Chris Carter has ties to St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas is a powerhouse in high school football. A powerhouse in high school football. So the kid has a very good background. According to what I was reading, and again, it was what the things I was able to catch, they projected him to go late first, early second. Okay? Yeah, we got that, Jared. Actually, Paul Taglia screw up, announced it wrong. He said that the Vegas would get it in 2020. Dude, this is 2020. Okay? This is 2020. What I think he meant to say is because that they was not given the capabilities of doing the draft in 2020, that the next available draft, which is 2022, which I hope I am alive for, is I'll be out there, providing that the world is a safer place. Yeah, Russ, here's the thing, though, and you said if you see Arnette as a second rounder, and you know that the Raiders don't have a second round pick, ipso facto, that was the Raiders' second round pick. Okay? Ipso facto, the Raiders don't have a second round pick. They're getting that second pick in the first round. They need a cornerback, and that's the cornerback that they like the best. It wasn't Hill out of Virginia, who I saw a lot. C.J. Henderson was off the board. So, ipso facto, that was the second round pick for the Raiders. Now, did the Raiders try to have somebody trade up for it? We don't know. And we really won't ever know. Yeah, I heard that Chris Carter talking Arnette to come back to Ohio State for his senior year. I heard that. But he said something about his father. So, maybe Chris Carter talked to his father, who actually, him and Chris Carter and his father were behind Damon Arnette going back to Ohio State. And Ohio State, again, if you're on the other side of Akuda, you're going to get a lot of play. And the kid did rather well. So, oh, by the way, the Seahawks are on the board, are in. They're going to trade back. They almost always do. I'd be very surprised if they actually don't use the pick. And thanks, Vicky. I did use eye drops earlier. I swear I did. They were put in because I can't put in eye drops very well. My eyes are just burning like a SOB. But I'm here because I told people I would be here. Again, Damon Arnette, a cornerback who is a strong, physical cornerback. What I saw that I liked about the breakdown is that he is a good tackler. He is sticky. He's physical. I like that because C.J. Henderson, like I said, he's a very good cover corner, but he's not as big as, he's not as good of a tackler as he should be. Yeah, I probably need the warm washcloth. I get it, guys. I appreciate it, but I'm doing a show right now, so I do have a cloth. So hopefully this will help out a little bit. It's not wet, but it will do. So again, if you like what we got, I mean, like I said, we were everybody is adamant. Everybody is adamant. The Raiders needed a wide receiver and a cornerback. Well, guess what? We got a wide receiver and a cornerback. So in that respect, we got the two most needed positions that everybody and their grandmother was bitching about. Everybody and their grandmother was bitching about. Mike, you don't know that. And I keep telling people this. Well, they could have traded down. They could have traded down. If they tried to trade down and nobody was there to take the trade, how can you say they could have traded down? If they went after somebody to trade up to 19 and nobody wanted to do it, you say, well, they could have traded down. Were you in? And I'm not mad at you, Mike. I know I sound like an asshole when I say this, but you weren't in the room. You weren't in the room. You don't know what happened. I got according to Mike, I need to, Vicky, I need to pat it. Awful. I do have my glasses on. I'm not rubbing. I'm patting. And here's Mike Sarah. A B grade for Ruggs, a D grade for Arnette. Your opinion. And again, Mike, not coming after you, but everybody has an opinion and everybody has an asshole. Ergo, everybody's opinion is an asshole opinion, or however it goes like that. Okay, these people that said he was a reach, again, might have been a reach. But again, he was our de facto second round pick. Our de facto second round pick. And that's the way it is. There you go. Tito said high second. Yeah, I'm going to take some calls. I've been talking for a while. So let me get the number on the board. Let me get the phone up. And I'm glad you guys are here tonight. There is the phone is there. Ooh. Okay, I didn't do that correctly. There we go. Now I did it correctly. So the phone is out. Please dial in. We still need. Oh, Mike, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I just wanted you to make sure that I wasn't being a prick. And as stated by Ed Winchell, this is our Pittsburgh report. Jared, how you doing, brother? Good to hear from you.
Good, Captain Jack. How you doing tonight?
I'm okay, other than my very bad, eyesight and burning eyes. So I will be here as long as we have phone calls, and if we don't have any phone calls after this, then it'll be a short show. But I hope I wasn't too long in my dissertation, but I wanted my words out. And sometimes I don't get a chance to do that, and I did get a chance to do that tonight.
That's fine, no problem. I just saw Baltimore making a selection. Patrick Queen from LSU. So they're 28. Let's talk about your boys. I'll tell you what. I've said it to Eddie all night, Howard. I've said it to Dawn. I've said it to just about everyone in the Raider Nation. Henry Ruggs is a steal at 12. It's absolutely dynamite. Dynamite. It's going to be so exciting to see this kid fly to the ball. I mean, this kid is fast. He's speedy. He's Tim Brown 2.0 reincarnated. And the Raiders have got to be giddy as hell to get this guy to Sin City.
Yeah, I mean that's what I said is that he came out and he actually can catch. He can run routes. He's very quick. Obviously, the fastest 40 time. 4.27. I mean, if the Raiders are going to take, all these players that have the fastest 40 time, then maybe they'll trade up into the second round and they'll get Taylor, the running back out of Wisconsin. I doubt that, but I'm just saying you can't really say that.
We might fight with you on that one because I told you it could be Pittsburgh taking him too. We know that the Pittsburgh likes running backs and they want him too, so you never know. It could be him or KJ Hamler we've talked about before. Jalen Hurts, I mean, the jury's still out. Right now, I mean, there has been a few surprises tonight with some of the trades. I mean, one of the surprises, I mean, Packers taking Jordan Love, I think was a little risky, however, just a little while ago. I mean, Kinlaw, of course, going to Frisco at 14 with Tampa and San Fran trading back and forth. Judy going to Denver. It's going to be interesting to see what he does out there in Denver, so we'll see what happens there. But it has been a very interesting night. I mean, LSU's got 4 kids already have gone in the first round tonight, which is crazy. I think Bama's got like 2 or 3, I think. Yeah. I'm not real sure, but it's, yeah, the SEC once again is showing their dominance, however, in this year's draft, and it's showing more and more, and it's not over yet, however. We still got 2 more days to go.
I actually like the fact that if the Broncos were going to get a pick, okay, I'm glad that they got Judy, because Judy does not impress me. He reminds me of a more reliable version of Amari Cooper, and that's not saying a lot.
Well, he's gonna have a guy like Andrew. What the hell is his name? The Missouri kid who's now stepping in for Flacco, Locke or something like that. I think that's his name.
Yeah, Drew Locke's gonna be his quarterback.
Yeah, Drew Locke's gonna be his quarterback. So we're gonna see how that's gonna bode well out there in Denver. Howard, you never know what's gonna happen in Denver. But yeah, there's been a few. Jordan Brooks just went to Seattle. I'm looking here at some of these picks. I mean, we still got 4 more picks to go. We have Tennessee. Miami's going to be back on the board again, apparently, after swapping with Green Bay just moments ago. And then, of course, we got Minnesota, and we close it out in the evening with the Chefs, the world champions, if you will, however. But it's been some surprises tonight. I was surprised Tua went to Miami at 5 and Herbert went to LA at 6. I thought it was going to be the exact opposite. We're going to see Herbert at 5, maybe, and Tua maybe slide down in the, like 6, 7, 8, however. But Tua to go to Miami, however. Hopefully he stays healthy, because now he's going to be taking over Fitzpatrick down there in South Beach, and we'll see what happens down there.
Yeah, I actually I'm not a fan of either quarterback. Like I said, Tua was supposed to be the quarterback of this class, and I think that that injury is going to really hurt him in his development. And Justin Herbert, I watched in the bowl game, because they said, hey, you got to watch this guy. This guy might be the quarterback that the Raiders get. And I wasn't really impressed with him. I actually was looking at the Utah quarterback. I know it wasn't Love. It was the other guy. And actually, he to me has a lot more upside than Herbert. Herbert is, to me, is like another Ryan Leaf. He's got some attitude to him, and I
think he's like a Rivers. He's like a Rivers. I've heard from some people. They say he's a lot like Rivers too.
Well, if he's like Rivers, then he will be a Hall of Famer. But and that's only because Rivers was around for so long that he has those stats that will give him the Hall of Fame. But if again, I'm not an expert. I am not a draft aficionado. I am not somebody that works for the front office. Mike Mayock does not call me at odd hours of the night. He says, "Hey, Captain Jack, what do you think?" And I wish he would, but that's just me.
Well, if Mayock doesn't call you, he should call me, or Brent Musburger or Gruen should call me, however, because I would give him my analysis. But, yeah, after hearing that thing tonight about Vegas hosting in 2022, however, hopefully in Vegas again and things get back to normal, that'd be great to see. I mean, I'm glad that Vegas is going to get their turn to host it again after what happened. Despite the craziness this year, now going to get a chance to host it now in 2022. I mean, the question is, who's going to host it in 2021?
That's Cleveland.
Who's going to get their turn? We're going to find out by the end of the week.
Well, no, that's Cleveland, from what I understand.
Oh, Cleveland's going to host it. My friend, I have a friend in Georgia who grew up in Ohio, so I might have to make the trip up to Cleveland next year in the Steelers gear, even though the dog pound will probably hate my ass, but they'll want to throw everything at me, but I don't care. But that'll be interesting to see how with Cleveland next year. But I did talk about this with Eddie, too. Do you think Carr's going to be gone by the end of the weekend, do you feel?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't see it. Now, here's the thing. If you were going to trade Carr, you should have done it in the first round. Or maybe, okay, let me rephrase that. If you don't see Carr gone by what do you call it? Hang on a second. If you don't see Carr gone by the second round, then he's staying. If the Raiders don't trade Carr for a second-round pick from somebody, he's staying on the team.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to wait and see. Like I said, we still got a few more picks to go here for the night, Howard. Like I said, Tennessee's just making their pick now at 29, so we got 3 picks left for the evening. Howard, see who Tennessee takes at 29 with Roger Goodell, Howard, now. And let's see. It has been going to be, come on, who is it? Isaiah Wilson from Georgia, offensive tackle.
Okay, are you watching ESPN? Because I'm watching the NFL Network, and they haven't flashed it yet.
I'm watching my local, one of my local stations here, ABC/ESPN, Channel 4 WTAE, however.
Okay.
That is Channel 4 in Pittsburgh, but they'll probably show the Wilson thing here in a second. But yeah, tomorrow night we'll see what happens at night too. Obviously, the Steelers are not going to be up until probably about a little after 8 or whatever, Howard, so we'll see who their first pick is in. That is, I think, number 46 or 47, however. But overall, Howard, I think one of the it's hard to say which. Like I said, I think the Raiders kind of won the first night along with Miami. I think if I have to grade the winners of the first night, it's Miami and Oakland. And right now, as far as who was the biggest tough one, I think it would have been the Jets maybe. Going for a big lineman like they came from Louisville was a reach.
Yeah, Mekhi Becton is there. And thanks, Jared. I'm going to get to Mike Sarah before he goes.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call. That was Jared getting our Pittsburgh report. And here's Mike Sarah, who obviously does not know anything because he is the most stupidest of the fucking callers that I have because he knows.
Hey, I was just looking in the mirror to see if I had any of my ass left after you chewed it.
No, come on, man. Come on. Come on. What now?
Hey,
did I do that?
That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to sway anybody. I just looked at it this way, and this is how I just feel. And I just feel like, if you got a first-round pick, you need to get first-round talent. And what I've seen from all the analysts, and they might all be wrong, and I hope to God they are, but they were talking second, possibly even third round for this guy. One of the guys said it was an 8th cornerback on his list. So I'm just going by what the analyst said, and I've never heard of this guy, so that's what I was thinking. So I don't know. I just think first-round talent, you need to get first-round talent if you got first round.
Like I said, according to the only thing that I could pull up on him, and I'm going to read what I can say, again, because, again, The Athletic was saying that, get a subscription, and, he is, this is what it is. Arnette, some character concerns, but I think that's obviously you could throw that out if Mayock grabs you, then that's a good thing. It says, pointed out Arnette's maturity growth over his final 2 years. A bit stiff-hipped in man coverage, quick change of direction, give him problems. Could have some issues staying with faster receivers deep. I see this guy really as a slot corner right now because I really think that Isaiah Johnson is going to be on the other side.
I think so too. I think he'll eventually be our starter, Isaiah Johnson.
Yeah.
I really did.
It said Arnette shows good awareness in zone coverage and reads opposing quarterbacks well. He is an excellent open field tackler and an asset in run support. That was very important for me to read right there. Excellent open field tackler.
Something that C.J. Anderson didn't have.
No. And they said Jeffrey Okudah, first cornerback. Arnette saw a high volume of targets because of Okudah's presence, but he played at a consistently top level. So if you got the number one cornerback in the draft on your other side and they're picking on you, and the fact says that Arnette saw a high volume of targets, but he played at a consistently top level, that's good for me. And then this is what I was talking about. Arnette is among a handful of corners expected to be drafted between the last part of the first and end of the second round. So if you look at that, and again, this is one guy's opinion, because we all have opinions, and we all have assholes, so everybody's opinion is an asshole.
I love it, yep.
So this guy's opinion stated that this guy was a late first through second round talent. We didn't have any second round picks. We needed a cornerback, and if
we picked for need, and I think that's a good choice.
Right,
picking for need is something good, so I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I look at it this way, and hopefully this will turn out like it did a couple years ago. When remember Conley was like the number one guy in Ohio State, and Lattimore was as kind of the other guy on the other side, and who ended up being the better pro was Lattimore.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be the situation between the two Ohio State guys that just got picked.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore is a fantastic cornerback, and he actually were
And
talking.
he was like second fiddle to Conley. He was supposed to be the second best. Conley was supposed to be the best.
Right, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah. I just every year, man, we pick a cornerback. I hope we get it right this time. You know, DJ Hayden and all our fun, you know, all the great guys we've had in the past at cornerback. But those are Reggie McKenzie picks. So hopefully, you know, we got Mayock. So I'll put my faith in him.
I'm glad you said that because I was about ready to ream you with that third new asshole talking about these are picks from Mumbles, okay? And that's not me denigrating Reggie McKenzie having a speech impediment. I apologize if it sounds like that, but that's what we all called him, was Mumbles, because the guy just is not very eloquent at public speaking, okay?
No.
So again, that's a Mumbles pick. All of the picks, I guess, other than Carr and maybe one or two other picks, they're gone.
50 who?
No, but he's gone.
50 who?
But he's gone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But and you know this pick was for the pick of 50 who. This guy, this Arnette guy was Chicago's. That was our second pick, our
Right.
second first round pick from 50 who. So
Right.
it kind of puts the pressure on us there a little bit too.
Well, like I said, the fact is that the Chicago got our second rounder, and yeah, we need to make sure that we strike gold. And I think that this kid can learn. I mean, trust me, if he went to Aquinas, the kid's got talent. I know St. Thomas Aquinas, and the fact that he went to Ohio State means that he has talent. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure this guy is good. I didn't know somebody mentioned late first round, so that makes sense. So I retract what I said.
No, I was glad that you called because I'm like, whoa, I can't wait to cite that passage. Cite that passage.
Well, I was a little disappointed, and you're probably going to kill me on this one. I was a little disappointed because I wanted CeeDee Lamb. I thought CeeDee Lamb was the guy we were going to get because everybody, I'd read that where they said Mayock really loved CeeDee Lamb, and I think Gruden loved Ruggs, and you know, so and what I like about Ruggs is he can turn a 10-yard pass into a 70-yard touchdown, and we know who throws 10-yard passes.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say.
You got to look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, and that, if you're looking for a receiver that fits our current starting quarterback, that's the guy. Because, again, Amari Cooper was like that when he did catch the ball. It would be these very short, quick throws, and then Cooper would be gone, okay, when he did catch him. And that was an occasional thing. But when he did catch him, he'd be gone. And that was when Cooper actually had the wherewithal to actually want to play. And I don't think that Ruggs is that guy. I think Ruggs actually has the positive personality needed, and I'm sure we got a good scouting report from Josh Jacobs on him. I'm sure we did.
Yeah, and apparently, this is what I heard, is that Ruggs had the lowest drop rate out of the top three, out of the top drop rate passes.
Yeah.
Out of Judy, CeeDee Lamb, and him. So hey, I think of the fastest guy, receiver, and I think of James Jett. Now, James Jett did some good things for the Raiders. He made some good plays. But he was never, the top receiver. I think this guy's a little bit better than James Jett.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure of that.
Oh yeah. Like Jared was saying that this is and I'm not gonna give him a gold jacket yet, but this is, according to Jared, who I think might be a pro draft guy. He's the Tim Brown 2.0.
Hey, you know what? That's great. That's great. I'll take him. I'll take anybody who mentions him in the same breath with Tim Brown. That's pretty big company there. Good company.
Yeah, I didn't even really bother to look at what they said about Ruggs because I mean he's been.
Oh, he was the top three. He was the top three.
Yeah, and I knew that, like I said, and you guys know, I said I don't want a receiver with the top pick. I don't want a receiver with the top pick. They don't call me to say, hey, Jack, who do you want? They don't call me. But
I would have preferred to have had Ken Wall. I would have preferred to have taken him at 12. But what are you going to do? I knew they wanted a receiver.
Yeah, I think that the fact that they picked up, I think it was Malik Collins and the other kid out of Dallas. they're solidified in the D line. They picked up the kid from the Bucks whose name escapes me, who I'm really happy about. I guess that they were saying that we're good right now in our D line because they've had Rod Marinelli looking over what we have. So we'll see.
And I think we might be able to grab a second-round pick from either Gabe Jackson and P.J. Hall, or maybe a combination of both. I think they can possibly get us a second-round pick.
I would hope so, because
and there's our second-round pick that we're looking for.
Yeah, and there is the fact that Gabe is a good guard, but he's a lot against the cap, and good is just as good, if not better. And you know how I said that. Yeah.
No, Denzel Good is tough. I think he proved that he was just as good or better last year. He really did.
Yeah, he was. Hey, Mike, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna see if anybody else calls in. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, I take it back, and I'm all for Arnette, man. Let's go.
No.
Keep it positive. And
I said don't. No. Don't retract. Have an opinion and stick by it. Stick by it. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to retract. Now, you can say in years to come, if the guy is a stiff, and you can come at me and say, Jack, I was right. And then I'd say, you know what, Mike, you were right. And I'm not
trying. I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. I want this guy to be successful. I want the Raiders to be successful. So
well, I think we all do.
Well, I'll let you go, man. Have a good one, Captain. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks again. That was Mike Sarah calling from Misery. I got a 912. I don't have my phone. Where's my phone? I don't have the number. If I have your number, I apologize. Who am I talking to at 912?
Oh, it's Mr. Wombat. Captain, what's going on?
Hey, I know I got your number, Mr. Wombat. So that's a good thing. I apologize that I didn't have it available. So you are good to go, sir. How are you doing tonight?
Myself, I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying my days off in between shifts. Enjoying this wonderful storm we're having. I don't know how the weather is around your neck of the woods, but it's been storming all day here. So.
We had rain. What was it 2 days ago? It was really bad, like 2 days ago. It wasn't really bad now, but it was. Excuse me, it was overcast. Oh, your call didn't show up, but I do have you in here. But as I check it out, I don't know why. Sometimes it comes in, sometimes it doesn't. So I apologize, Mr. Wombat. Again, you're in my phone, but it doesn't show up. But hey, obviously you're always welcome. What are your strong points? I know you want to get to them. I will give you the floor, brother. What's up?
All right, appreciate it. Well, look, I'll go ahead and be one of the people that say, like, last year, they took Cleveland in the first round. I was, like, one of those people who were kind of shocked about it. It wasn't really happening, really. But we see, in my opinion, I think he panned out really well last year, especially for a guy who was playing two different positions.
Yeah, and that was the big thing about him is the fact that he kept getting asked to do both D tackle and D end, and when they finally stuck with him playing defensive end, the latter part of the year is when he showed a lot of what we were drafting him to be, and I think that's a good thing for Cleve Farrell.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I like to point out to you, if I remember correctly, it was the play where he dragged down Phillip Rivers with one arm, even though he was held the entire time, and still managed to get to him and still drag him down. I think that was in the second game they played against Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I'm here, brother, and I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Go
but
ahead.
that was just basically the reason I was just saying because I'm at the point now where I kind of just trust the front office with their picks, myself personally, especially when we see how many of these players stand out, like, how they're trending in a good direction. And so I see, at least myself, when, depending on the message boards you look at, you see like there's a lot of people like melting down over these picks. I like both picks. They picked up positions in areas that they need help. I agree with what many of you have said about Ruggs. So I'm looking forward to it. He's like the complete receiver. I'm good with that. And in terms of the corners, you made that point earlier. I totally agree with. They don't have a second round pick, so I'm sure they were trying to get deals done, but they couldn't get deals done. Trade back. So if this is the guy that they really want, and the other corners are gone, then they were going to have to reach and take them because they don't have a second round pick.
Right.
And the guy could tackle, and he had great ratings in this entire draft class in regards to single coverage. I like the pick myself personally. Obviously, Tom's going to tell with any draft pick, but I really see no reason to be that bitter about it. I mean, it's not a flashy pick. It's not what I'm sure a lot of people wanted. But to me, I'm cool with it. So.
Yeah. Like I said, people were bitching. They said, we need a wide receiver and we need a cornerback. And then everybody's pissed off that it's not CeeDee Lamb. And everybody's pissed off that it got a cornerback that maybe wasn't, and I'll be honest, it wasn't anybody I knew. It wasn't anybody I knew. But, I mean, obviously, Mike Mayock and their scouts know who he is. So that's the good thing.
Exactly. And the fact that I've seen, and I believe, well, I'm sure you have, or maybe some others have, compared, or I'm sorry, when Jared made that comparison as well with Ruggs and Tim Brown, I'm definitely all on board. Tim Brown, for me, is my favorite Raider, like, of all time. For me, that's like my favorite Raider. So
yeah,
that was the time I grew up watching the Raiders. So for me, I'm like, if he's getting comparisons to Tim Brown, I'm definitely all about it. And I have friends who are total Alabama supporters, so I'm sure they'll be able to tell me a lot about him as well. But regardless, I'm with you. They address positions in need. And again, when I read that Arnette could tackle, especially in the open field, we definitely need cornerbacks that can do that.
Yep.
And if they're pretty comfortable with the two gentlemen on the outside, with those Mullen and Johnson, because you made the comment that he'll probably be in the slot.
That's where I would start him. That's where I would start him.
I'm sure. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's where they'll probably start him. I would imagine that's where they might start him as well.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I don't know. Again, I everything to me is not flashy, but it makes sense. It's kind of like when Colton Miller was selected. Colton Miller wasn't flashy, but it made sense. It was the right pick to make at the time, at least in my opinion.
Right.
I don't know.
And Colton Miller's still there. He still is. I want to say he's on a upward curve. Maybe he plateaued a couple years ago, but I don't think he's regressed. He did have some bad games last year. That's true. He had some bad games last year, but for the most part, he is on an upward trajectory, and that's what I think is going to be the best asset for Colton Miller. I think that we still need to get a nice swing tackle. That's something that we don't have yet, and I think that might be something that we get in this draft because I'm not really sure. Again, we have Parker, who sucks. I like the fact that we have Sharp, who is a very decent swing tackle, but maybe we can get something better than David Sharp. So there you go. And we're gonna need a guard. We're gonna need a guard pretty soon as well, because I don't know how long Richie Incognito is going to be able to strap on those pads, man. I don't know.
No, I totally agree. Offensive line depth is something this team definitely, and not just so much like it's just, to me, it's when we've seen it a number of times when one guy goes down on that line, it just seems to fall to shambles during games, and I'm sure they do plan to draft or bring in guys that they can switch in and out, and keep guys rested and keep the line continuing to move, or if someone does get injured, they have a guy they ready to go, no problem.
I'm gonna try to answer. I think I saw it. That can't be right. I thought it would. I saw 3.56, but that can't be a 40 time, because that's way fast. It's got to be maybe a cone drill. Maybe I don't see what his 40 time was, but Yeah, 6 foot, 195, prototypical. You know, I thought I saw 5'11" on the screen as well. So yeah, he's about what everybody else thinks he's supposed to be about. Yeah, I don't see any 40 times. So again, oh, here we go. Here it is. I was correct. It wasn't 3.56. It was 4.56. 3.56 would have been really nice. So he's a 4.56 40. This is Arnette. So he's not the sleekest, but 4.5. That's about an average. If I'm not mistaken, is that about an average 40 time for like D-backs? I mean, maybe I'm talking out of turn, but I think that's about an average 40 time.
You might know that better than me. I'll be honest. So.
Well, again, I don't profess to being a like I said a scout for the Raiders. Maybe one of these days.
Just on paper, though, when you bring up the net, again, if he can tackle and if he's good with single coverage, those are, at least for myself, those are things I like to see. So I'm glad that if you tick those boxes for him, you know.
Yeah.
He played.
And again,
and I imagine he played out. Right?
I was going to say, again, if you're going up against Tyreek Hill, you hope and pray. And you play double coverage, you bracket him, hoping that the second guy doesn't let him out of his touch, and you go for it. And that's why we always needed somebody to get and cover the damn tight ends, because Kelsey would just come by and kill us. Okay?
Absolutely.
And the Chiefs just took Clyde Edwards-Helaire. A very good pick for the Chiefs.
Well, that was going to be my question to you, because I haven't seen all of the draft picks. Have you? All I know about is Jerry Jeudy to the Broncos. Have the rest of the AFC West, have they been pretty good with their picks? Or?
Well, yeah, Jeudy went to the Broncos. The Chargers got Herbert, and it was, I think, a defensive guy. And okay, so who am I missing? The Chiefs, the Broncos. The Chargers got Herbert and I think a defensive guy, and then, like I said, the Chiefs just got Edwards-Helaire, which is a good pick.
Okay, so all the picks. Okay, I'm just asking because I just like to tabs on, still got two tabs on the division. See how it's all going to shape up.
Yeah.
And, but regardless, no, I'm cool with the picks myself. So I'm good. I'm taking the wait and see, like we should with any draft. They get paid to do this. So
yeah, like I said, I wish I was getting paid. They're here. Oh boy, they just showed LSU just run right through the Gators defense, which is very hard to see. But oh well. Hey,
do you?
Go ahead, real quick.
One quick question before you let me go. I don't mind. You let me go. You can answer when I hang up. Do you think they'll be able to move Gabe Jackson, get back into the second round, or do you think they're going to just try to resign him?
I think that he's been rumored to be on the trade block, but again, just because he's on the trade block doesn't that means that somebody has to want to get him. They're saying Gabe Jackson.
Right.
They're saying P.J. Hall. Now, Gabe Jackson, to me, is worth a second-round pick. P.J. Hall is worth maybe a third or a fourth, because he has not established himself as a very good football player in this defense. So I would take a fourth-round pick for P.J. Hall, and he's been put on blast by Mike Mayock, so I don't think he's going to be on the team anyway. If you can get a pick for him, great, go get it.
Okay. Well, I didn't even know about P.J. Hall being on the block, so that's kind of news to me. So.
No. Mike Mayock put him on blast during interviews. Okay. So, basically he said P.J. Hall needs to put some fire in his ass in order to make the team, and that's obviously not a direct quote, but that's what it amounted to. And when you get put on blast by your general manager, that's not a good thing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I appreciate you taking my call and answering my questions and everything.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you always calling in, brother.
Absolutely. If you enjoy the rest of your night and get some eye drops to do something, man.
Well, I said I did have the eye drops earlier. I can't really put them in because I have very sensitive eyes, and I just it's like when I go to the optometrist, they have to pry my eyes open. They do.
Okay.
And it's just bad, but that's just the way it is.
Well, still hope. Oh, they get better. So what you?
Well, yeah, I'll try to be. Like I said, I'm gonna go get some rest. I got to get up in the morning because obviously teleworking is still here. But I figured I would go on a little early, and because I didn't think that the Raiders were gonna be making an appearance in the first round again. So I went on at 11 o'clock, and we've had everybody that call, and I appreciate everybody that did watch. And again, if you are not a subscriber, get your ass over to the subscriptions and get that done. Hey, I'm going to let you go, Mr. Wombat.
Absolutely. Take it easy.
All right. Take care. That's Mr. Wombat. And then I got a 442. Who am I speaking to, 442? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on, brother.
Yeah. What's up, Captain Jack?
Who's this, brother?
It's Raider Devellion, man.
Hey, boy, it's been a minute or two, hasn't it?
Man, I can never get in on a call when I ever try to call you. I finally got in on one. Man, I'm ecstatic that we got that boy Ruggs. I've been calling it all month. I've been telling people he's going to go after Ruggs because he looks at Ruggs as what he could not do with Antonio Brown.
Right.
And I had Ruggs over CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. I just think that on an NFL level, what he's able to do translates better than the other two. And I'm going to keep it 100 about CeeDee Lamb. When I see him, I see Sammy Watkins or Crabtree at best.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, CeeDee Lamb, to me, looked like at one of those things where he just could not break off the line. And that was in the championship game against, obviously, a staunch LSU defense. Hey, Devillion, make sure you actually text me so I can put your phone in my phone number in my phone if you're not in there already. You might be in there already, but I try to get the numbers for everybody. But unfortunately, when I go to Google, Google Hangouts, they don't always show up. But I'm always good hearing from you, brother. But yeah, I agree. I think, and as again, I thought that the Raiders would be better off not picking a wide receiver, but if you're going to get one, this was the guy I wanted.
Yeah, if they had went defense, I wouldn't have been angry at all. I was just not interested in Lamb as much as everybody else was. Jerry Jeudy, he was somebody who, a better version, but who we thought Demarius Moore would be.
Yeah. Wow, you're going way back to Demarius Moore out of University of Tennessee.
Well, remember Moore's rookie season, how fluid, how smooth he was until the wheels fall off for him or whatever.
Yeah.
But his route running was good. He was good, but I just see Jeudy being what we thought Moore would be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Judy's going to be an outstanding wide receiver. I think Lamb's going to be good. It's just for what we wanted and what we needed, because I have nothing against Sammy Watkins or Crabtree. I loved Crabtree when he was with us. But I called him Mr. Clutch, MC.
Yeah.
But what we needed, the thing is, Lamb is slower than both Water and Williams and shorter. So I do not see how he will be upgraded over either. And I didn't care who we got at wide receiver. I don't believe anyone is taking the number one targets away from Water. Yes, I know Water's a tight end, but we see how that worked for Tom Brady in New England. Now, I'm not comparing Water to Gronk. I think Gronk is a different type of talent. I mean, come on, the guy has wide receiver speed and 6'6".
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
I don't know any linebacker or cornerback who could really cover him. Look, I'm so high on Water, I feel like he could be Optimus Prime to Calvin Johnson's Megatron. Not necessarily as good because Calvin Johnson, he was faster, but come on, Waller, 6'6". He has great fucking hands. I just see a big upside with Water, and people do not fail to remember Waller lined up out wide a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Waller is a very large. In fact, when he was drafted by the Ravens, he was drafted as a wide receiver. He's a huge guy.
He is more wide receiver than he is tight end. He had to learn to be a tight end. He already knew how to be a wide receiver.
Right.
So, and like I said, you could say, "Oh, we needed a true number one." I'm telling you right now, Water is still going to be that number one. Have we got who everybody thought was a true number one in CeeDee Lamb or Judy, Waller still would have been the number one target. He's 6'6". He's just too damn hard to miss.
Right. And like I said, I think Ruggs is the best of those three. I think he is.
And it's not necessarily too much. I think that Ruggs is the best of those three. I just think, I do believe he has the highest upside of those three, but he was the best fit for what we like to do. I mean, we don't run just a West Coast offense. It is traces of West Coast offense, but if people pay attention, there's a lot of spread in it as well. But he helps Carr do some of the things he likes to do. Carr likes to get rid of the ball real fast. Ruggs is a guy who could take a negative 3-yard pass and take it to the house.
Right.
He's that type of player. And eventually they'll send him deep, but he's not really somebody who runs deep and gets the ball thrown to him. He's more somebody who likes, to catch the ball and run it, run it all the way down to the other side of the field because he's just too hard to catch.
Right.
But that's some of the part of this game I'm pretty sure, they'll probably want to work on, they'll want him to work on it, they'll want to implement that type of game into him. I mean, he has D. Jackson, Tyreek Hill written all over him. He could be either or, a little bit of both.
Oh, with D-Jax?
Was that?
You think he's like a D-Jax? I think he actually he's I think now I might be wrong, but I think he's bigger than D-Jax ever was, and I think that
he is.
Yeah.
I just think I think the way he plays, his style of play is. You could go either way. I mean, either way it go, you're winning with a D-Jax or a Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because remember what D-Jax, remember what he did to the Giants,
the punt return? Yeah, the punt return against the Eagles, or was he on the Eagles and he did the punt return? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're right. It was against, it was against the Giants.
Yeah, it was against
It was with the Eagles.
Right, he was
against the Giants.
Right, in the Meadowlands.
That wasn't the only thing he did. Him and Vic. They just said we're gonna take over the game, and they did that together.
Right, and it was in the fourth quarter, and Tom Coughlin went to his punter and said, "Do not kick it to D-Jax." So what did the guy do? He kicked it to D-Jax, and then they won on that play. I think it was actually the last play.
Yeah, I think that kicker was fired. Hey, but moving on to Arnette. Look, I know everybody was surprised, but when you know about his game, you said you had some people who thought he was picked real high, but there was experts who had him at a first round grade as well.
Right.
I mean, he had the lowest rating for QBs that targeted him in college. You would think that he would have got picked on being opposite of Akuda, but it didn't really work for nobody when they tried to.
Yeah, and I tell you there, Devillian, here's something, and we were finally joined by my Ohio State aficionado, Don Webb, and I was waiting for him to come on, and I'm glad he came on. Don Webb states, and I quote, "Arnette, hard hitter, great cover guy. We wanted him, we got him." And to me, that's That's a good, because this guy watches Ohio State football religiously. That's why I said I can talk a lot about the Gators, because I watch the Gators every Saturday. So I know about my college team like I know about the Raiders on Sunday. So I can tell you about the Gators. Don watches Ohio State, and the fact that he knows what he can do, that's a feather in his cap. So Don is our picker here, and he likes what he sees with Arnette.
Yeah, there's only one thing that scares me about Arnette, and it's not his playing ability, it's his 40 time. But however, things are a little bit different with the pads on. Not everybody's, people with shorts on, they run these great times or whatever. So I don't want to sit and act like his 40 time is everything.
Yeah.
Because he might be able to play very fast with his pads on and be able to keep up with people who could beat him in shorts.
Hey,
so I don't want to
Raider,
hold that against him.
Yep. I got to let you go there. Well, no, but okay, I still got to let you go. Jimmy Farrell was on the line, so when I hang up with Raider Devillion and Jimmy Farrell was there, call back there, Jimmy, because you're the next person on. Yeah, I said people. I mean, he's got a 4.56. To me, that's not slow, but it's not fast. I'm gonna let you go, brother. I got Jimmy Farrell back on again.
Hey, good talking to you with you, man.
You take care. Good hearing from you.
Absolutely.
That was Raider Devillion. Good to hear from him. Jimmy Farrell, good to hear from you as well. Let me get the proper things on where I'm not going to knock you out. So we'll do that transition here. Good to see from you, brother. It's 12:24. And again, as long as we have callers, I'll do the show. And so if we got some callers, I'll go to 1 o'clock. But only if we have callers. How you doing there, brother?
Not bad. Not bad. Listen, I said this once and I'll say it again. Whatever Madoff does, I have total confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, that second pick was a second-round pick. Now, the question I have, was Diggs still around?
Was who still around?
Diggs.
I think so.
Okay, I'm a little surprised that he wasn't picked first.
Well, again, we're not the experts. And it maybe now maybe it's because that you remember with people that we know. Remember that his brother is in the NFL, and his brother is, I'm not calling him a head case, but he's difficult. Okay,
right.
So it's kind of like last year when people were talking about A.J. Brown. And who is he related to? Some guy named Antonio. So that's why he dropped, because he has that kind of going for him. And here's that other thing that people were talking about with Judy, and I didn't even realize this, but apparently Judy was wearing a Star of David in I guess that they were doing it on the show with Rich Eisen. They're talking about why you're wearing a Star of David, because hey, that's my nickname, Judy. I'm like, dude, that's just stupid.
Well, how about what Ruggs was wearing?
And see what Ruggs was wearing.
He wore a bathrobe.
I mean, I like the fact he was chill. He's at his house, and he said, "Hey,
with a bathrobe?
Hey,
on national TV, you gotta wear a bathrobe.
Hey,
can you wear anything else?
Maybe that's
put on a pair of shorts and a shirt.
Hey,
come on.
Now wait a second. What do you, when you're comfortable? And don't get real graphic here or explicit, okay?
I have a pair of shorts or a pair of sweats and a T-shirt.
Okay, I'll be honest.
I don't own a bathrobe. Okay, I'm not 95 years old. Okay.
Ooh, that's harsh. I'll let you.
What kid at his age is wearing a bathrobe? Anyway, my son don't.
Okay, but that's your son. I'll be honest with you there, Jimmy. When I'm here in this desk and I'm working, do you know what I'm wearing?
You're in a bathrobe?
No, I'm wearing my underwear. No T-shirt.
Okay.
No T-shirt.
All right, put on a pair of boxers. I don't care.
No. I wear my underwear. You know why? Because first off, with the Corona thing, I don't want to have any extra clothes on that when I go outside, I'm going to have to strip down anyway. Okay?
Right.
So
and hardly anybody was wearing masks tonight at the homes.
well,
Only a few.
That is because if you are social distancing within your house, you pretty much know, hopefully, and I'm here, I'm keeping my fingers crossed here, you pretty much know if your family members have maybe been in quarantine for the 14 days, and if they're not showing any signs, then you're saying, okay, if you're not showing any signs, you're not going to... Oh, by the way, I wanted to show everybody this. Hang on here. Because I can't wait to use these. I got Raider masks for going out, so now I don't have to wear that damn little plastic. People were talking that it looked like a 90s porn underwear on that video that I did the other day. They said, what are you wearing, 90s porn underwear? So now I got my Raider mask, and I want to thank...
Are they washable?
Yeah. They're
Okay.
cloth. They're cloth. And so
Okay.
I'll be able to use them.
Were you a little surprised the earlier picks?
By who?
I can't think of off my head right now. The Cardinals.
Okay.
Is one. I was surprised. I thought they would pick the linebacker from Clemson.
McQueen or Queen, I should say, or no, Simmons.
Yeah,
but
I thought they would pick him.
But they ended up getting a tackle, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Right.
Okay, that is a direct attribution to you have a quarterback that is your franchise, and if your O-line sucks, even if your quarterback can run around and buy time, why have him do that?
Yeah.
And there were a lot of tackles on the board, and I mean, this draft is going to be remembered for a high tackle draft and a good receiver draft. Although I think 5 receivers went in the first round, the 3 that everybody knows about. I think Ayuk went, and I think that there was another receiver that went, and so I think that they had 5 receivers go. But, this is going to be Jefferson and Ayuk. And Jefferson is a really good receiver.
And the kid from TCU. He was gone, too.
Okay, so there's 6. So 6 receivers.
Mims? Is that his name, Mims?
I didn't think Mims went. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, he went.
Okay.
He went.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. But I don't recall him being there.
One other thing. Listen, I love the Bear, but when the Jets made the pick, he said he was in shock. I wasn't in shock because the reason why I'm not in shock is, I'm from New York, and I knew what the Jet fans want. And most of them wanted an offensive tackle. They didn't. I mean, it would have been nice to get a receiver, but their biggest need is they have to protect that quarterback.
Right.
And if you don't protect the quarterback, you're not going to be able to throw it to a receiver. So I think they make the right move. Same with the Giants. They've been a right way. Well, it's funny. The Giants fans are different. They go, "Oh, I want a defense," because that's all the Giants do. We're built on defense.
Yeah.
They didn't want a tackle.
Well,
They wanted the opposite.
If you got Jones as your quarterback and you need to protect his ass, you need to make sure you got somebody that's going to protect him. So
and they got a good tackle out of him.
Yeah, they got a good tackle in New York. They got a good tackle in with the other New York team, the Jets. I think they picked up Becton, right?
From Louisville.
Yeah, Mekhi Becton. Very good, very fast. Going to be a good tackle.
He ran a 4.5, I think.
Well, that's a big dude hauling ass, man.
320 and a 4.5.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Yeah. I tell you, it's. I'm hoping that the Raiders can do some maneuvering with
trade their third round pick for a second,
or
maybe 2,
or trade Gabe
Jackson
for a second round, because there's a lot of talent still out there. I mean,
I want Pittman. You think he'll make it in the third round, Pittman?
No, I think Pittman is gone
No.
early. I mean, if you
How about Claypool? Will he be going too?
Claypool might make it to the third round. I mean, Claypool might but I think that he probably goes late second. I think Pittman goes early second. Now, granted, I'm talking about first 16 picks is early, last 16 is late. So anywhere within the first 16, I think that Pittman will go. I think maybe Claypool might go there as well. I mean, but I think Claypool is going to go in the second round. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, probably the late second.
Mid-second. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Mid, yeah.
Yeah, like 10 to 20.
And another thing, I wouldn't be disappointed if the Raiders picked CeCe Lamb too in the first round. I mean, like Bear said, you imagine having Ruggs and CeeDee Lamb.
Well, that people were asking me in the Zooms that I was in. I said that is the only person I would take at 19 if he's still available. I said,
well, he was almost
right.
When was he picked?
He was
17?
He was picked by the Cowboys at 17, so he almost 17. Made it to 19. Okay.
Yeah.
So if the Cowboys didn't take him, and I can't remember who was 18, but I mean he almost was there. But I mean it would have been. I mean CeeDee Lamb would have been the only double wide receiver I would have taken with that 19 pick. Jefferson was a good wide receiver that was taken a little bit later. I think he's a very good receiver. Remember, the Gators have a Jefferson, too, whose father played for, I think it was John Jefferson, the Charger. He's still there. I think Jefferson might make it to the third round or the fourth round because he had that injury issue with in the combine where he had plantar fasciitis. And that might drop him back a little bit.
Wait, you talking about the wide receiver from LSU?
No, the wide receiver from Florida. There's another Jefferson.
So you're talking about the other one. Oh, okay. I think their first pick, I think that was a good pick because Mayock wanted CeeDee Lamb. But I'm not too sure whose pick was the second pick. You think that was Mayock's pick?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I said Don Webb, being the Ohio State aficionado that he is all over it, and I think it was a good pick.
You don't think it's? I guess it's a good pick. I don't know. I trust Mayock, but I think Diggs could have been picked before that.
Yeah. But there you go. Hey, Jimmy, I'm going to let you go, brother, and see if we get any more calls in. But thanks for taking time out.
Okay, I'll talk to you, Sunday?
Sunday for sure.
Okay, take care.
All right. That's Jimmy Farrell, who's always calls in. I like the fact that I have some regulars here. I love to have more folks come in and, watch the show. But, what can I say? If we get the word out, like I said, at 8:50, I have a Raider grab bag. I got to go get my that thing over. It's in the other room. It's a what do you call it? One of those bins full of shit, and it's stuff. No, Mike, Sarah, it's not Jefferson from LSU. It's Jefferson from Florida. Okay, and actually, Don Webb is calling in. I see the phone here. Don, good to hear from you, brother. What's going on?
Captain Jack, I want to say, first of all, thank you for taking your valuable time. I know you got to work, telework, or in work to spend with us. I appreciate it big time.
Oh, well, let's put it this way. If it wasn't enjoyable, I wouldn't be here. Okay? Yeah.
Well, we enjoy you, brother.
Well, I appreciate the positives, man. Like I said, I'm playing hurt. I'm dabbing my eyes again. I hope that this is going to make for a horrible video, but I got to be able to see the comments. So we got that there. And I had stated before you even came on, I said I'm waiting for Don Webb to call in because I wanted to hear your take on Arnette. Like I said, I didn't know anything about him. I didn't. If anybody that said that they did, they're a fucking liar, unless that they are a fan of Ohio State, which is why I went to see what I could get on him, and I found at least one article, and it sounds good to me.
I said second round. Now, I'm not Mayak. I would have drafted down and got like Blaylock or something like that and him, but that's what he wanted. I think Arnette, and I'm talking all Ohio State cornerbacks, is the toughest one I've seen. He had a broken arm for 6 weeks, didn't miss a play. The guy stood in there, played the one or two top, whoever he had at guard. He made tackles. Chris Carter, his mentor, said, dude, don't go out last year. Toughen your skills up, get better, and boom. This guy's a winner. Now, again, I would have drafted him second round, early, like 33. But, you know, it's like anything in fantasy football, real football. If you want your guy, you get him. You don't want to say later on, you know, I could have got him at 19. I waited to 33 and he was gone. You want him, you get him.
You got to have a trade partner. You got to have a trade partner. Now, I would think that Mayock was probably looking to trade out of that pick. I'm almost guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it. But the point is that A, either nobody wanted to come up, or B, he was afraid because all these people are afraid that they have, you know, they play I Got a Secret, and they think that they are the smartest people in the world, and then somebody comes up and grabs the guy that they want, and you are literally left holding the bag. You're literally left holding the bag. If that's the guy you want, you go get him.
All right. Now, Mr. Eminem said it all. He said 2 weeks ago, the third round is going to take candy from babies. So evidently, they got three good guys, or where they're going to manipulate up, down. They're going to be super happy.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. And like I said, Jefferson, the other Jefferson, the Gator Jefferson, like I said, not the LSU Jefferson. The Gator Jefferson is a fantastic receiver. And there's a lot of Gator receivers that I know about. There's actually some really good Gator running backs which are available that are, I think it would be...
Perrine?
Perrine, yeah. And there's the Perrine, actually his name is Perrine, I believe. And,
I'm sorry, my bad.
Perrine is available. You have Jefferson available. They had the kid that got that catch against Tennessee a couple years ago. He was like wide open in the big strong, you know, skinny quarterback who really was my favorite, but he threw it there and the guy caught the ball. That guy, I can't remember his name. I think he's available too. So there are plenty of Gators. And like I said, Zuniga at defensive line, great guy. And the other guy who was, and I can't remember his name, he was a senior transfer from Louisville at outside linebacker / defensive end, the tweener. He was injured a lot, as was Zuniga, but these guys are really good players, and they have a lot of heart.
Good. Well, Florida always has a tough defense. So anything you get, offense or defense, they're going to be tough. I have a problem with any Gators personally.
Well, if you listen to Tommy Beard, and I'm not denigrating Tommy Beard, so don't go out and say Captain Jack was saying shit about you, Tommy Beard. I'm not saying that, but Tommy Beard hates the Gators, and he thinks that the University of Miami is the only team in college football. And I just kind of say, no, they're not. And, you know, he goes, well, the Gators suck. I'm like, well, can you put something behind that? I mean, I like Tommy. He's entertaining. He hasn't called in a while, so obviously...
He's a moderator on a different show now. I know that much.
Yeah, but I don't think he really cares to call in, but that's the way it is.
I don't. Guess what? All the Michigan fans and all the people that, including you're not an Ohio State guy. There's only 4 guys in the top 19 picks were from Ohio State. either played there or got drafted to the Ohio State.
Right. And
Not a bad deal.
not bad. Now I think that Peoples might be a third rounder at wide receiver. And,
I like him.
Yep. And like I said, the quarterback I was gone back and forth on, but according to and I can't remember who the gentleman was that called in, and he is a Michigan fan that's in Ohio. That gentleman, he said that quarterback
Matt
sucked.
Hughes.
There you go, Matt Hughes. He said that quarterback sucked. So again, I like the opinions of people that actually watch their team. Okay, if they can give me information, not just he sucks. Tell me why he sucks, and that's what I'm saying. If you can tell me why a guy sucks, then I'm going to be apt to listen to it. If you say, like Tommy said, well, he's a Gator, he sucks. Okay, I'm not going to listen to you because that's just the way it is.
So what do you think of, this is trying to turn into tables a little bit. What do you think of the Chargers? I thought they did pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I like the fact that they think that they got their quarterback of the future. I'm not very high on Herbert. I'm really not.
I'm not, but I like the second guy they got.
Now, I can't remember. That was a defensive guy, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I have to look it up, but I made a note in it's upstairs. I was in my other room, but I made a note that I went, oh my God, the second guy might be better than the first guy.
Yeah, I would say Justin Herbert. They're pinning their hopes on Justin Herbert being the second coming of either Dan Fouts or Phillip Rivers. I heard that the one guy was saying that he reminds him of Phillip Rivers. If that's true, that's great. I don't like Phillip Rivers, but I give him his props in the fact that he's a damn good quarterback. I mean, he has Hall of Fame credentials. But
Phillips was, he had a good career, bitter beer face, but he did all right.
Yeah, I think that Plunkett has better credentials than Phillip Rivers, but that's just me. I'm biased. I understand that. I'm biased.
Well, Plunkett was a winner, but that's yet another story.
Yeah.
I don't get some of the times when people judge like Cliff Branch and Flores and Stabler and all Plunkett. What are they doing? These are a Hall of Famers, man. What in the heck is going on over here?
Yeah. But
I really believe, though, I think, like you said, you're smarter than me about this, in my opinion. The draft, I think, Mayak wanted to go down, but like you said, if you can't get a trade partner and you don't want to wait till take a risk at middle second round and go up on your third, why not just get him now? Then your third, you got three guys or whatever you're looking at, and they're going to be there.
Right. And that's why I said that, and CeeDee Lamb was the only person that I was looking to, if he was there, I would say I would rush right up to the podium and take CeeDee Lamb again, okay?
And maybe they wanted him and he was gone.
Ooh, wait, I was going to say, Tito was saying something about, well, when Elway picked Judy, he didn't look happy. That's funny.
That don't make any sense.
Well, like you said, we're having some people there saying that Judy is a head case. I
heard Judy had an issue with his knee. I read that 3 different networks.
He does have some. He does have some. What do you call it? Physical flags, and that's another reason why I think Ruggs is the best receiver, ready to go right now.
I definitely think he can blow the top off, and that's a salute to Mr. Al Davis. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see that the Raiders, even post Al Davis, still get the receiver with the fastest 40 time. And I was talking with Jared, and I'd like now. I think that Jonathan Taylor would be an asset, but we don't have any second round picks. So if we trade into the second round, there are other players available that I think would warrant that pick. But I tell you, Jonathan Taylor matched with Jacobs would be a fantastic 1-2 in the backfield. That's just me.
I think they're too close together. I'd rather go with A.J. Dillon personally. I'll tell you why. Because even though DeRoy is what he should have been called, had a great year, he kind of got banged up, and he's not huge, but he hit, when he gets to the hole, he hits it. He breaks tackles. But A.J. Dillon, to me, thunder and lightning, that's me. I'm not dogging out Taylor because I've seen him play for 3 or 4 years, and I thought the guy was awesome.
Yeah, well, what about Dobbins? That's your boy.
I love don't. If you really want to say it, I'd have took Dobbins where Kansas City took the dude from LSU, and I don't have nothing to do against the LSU guy, but Dobbins hits you hard, and now they're going to say right now he's not that good a receiver. They didn't use him for that.
Yeah.
But the other guy's more of a receiver than a runner on LSU.
Edwards-Helaire is a all-around back. He can catch. He can
scat.
He's
great.
He can move.
I don't have a problem with
it. But I like, to be honest, if I was to get, and again, I know Dobbins will be gone before we pick, but that's who I would like. If I'm not going to get Perrine, so you even got me saying it, Don. Screw you.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Actually, it's LaMichael Pirine. That is the correct pronunciation. I had to think. LaMichael Pirine. Right. So that is how to pronounce it. Hey Don, I'm gonna let you go, brother, but I appreciate you calling in.
Thanks a lot again, Captain. I appreciate it. We'll see you Sunday.
For sure, Sunday, and make sure I got some work to do and see if anybody gave me their movies. I haven't gotten a chance to even see if anybody gave me a list. So you guys got a couple days to do that. Top 5 movies in order, 1 to 5, 5 to 1. That's how I'm going to count them. So thanks again there, Don.
All right, take care, brother.
All right. That was,
all right, bye.
That's Don Webb, Las Vegas, who is a Ohio State aficionado. Again, if Don Webb tells me that the guy is worth a salt, then I'm gonna go with that. He knows. Line is open, 813-699-0834. Let's have one more call. Let's have one more call. Because I'd like to go to bed. Because I have to take off all of this. And this, hey, Cat, I'm just going to have breakfast and have a recap. All right, MacBud. I know McBud. He's calling from overseas. Got to be England or Scotland. God, my eyes suck. Eyes suck. Oh my God. Go get some breakfast, Mac, and appreciate that as well. If you want to be the last caller, please come do that. And if not, I don't mind. I don't mind being, ending a little early. I don't mind ending a little early. Again, I got to take all of this off. I'm getting a headache. Cheryl, thank you for hello to you as well. Oh, Murray, that's the guy that the linebacker from Oklahoma that the Chargers get. That's a great pick. Yeah, I do need to go to bed. That's why. So I'm saying, if you do call in, you got until you definitely have like maybe 5 minutes, because my eyes are killing me. I'm sorry, but I wanted to be here. Line is open, 813-699-0834. Like I said, we got the 3 third rounders. 3 third rounders, and I just saw where it went right across the screen where they were talking Raiders. It said Gabe Jackson has been on the trade block for a while. That is where I think that you get that 2nd round pick back. Okay, they're showing the Bucks on NFL Network. You got some guy named TB12. You got a really good tight end in Rob Gronkowski, and then you got some really good receivers in Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. And now you have a right tackle or left tackle, wherever they're going to put him, that's going to be the the guy that keeps the old man clean. And that's important. So, Fulton and Higgins still available. Oh, Fulton and Higgs. Okay, well, there you go. Higgs is still available. Not a good pick at 19. Okay, Oren doesn't like the pick. Speaking on Lamb, having go to Dallas, not happy. Well, I got you, Oren. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, brother. I appreciate your input. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I said that Goodell is screwed up. He said that the hold the next draft to 2020. Dude, this was the 2020 draft. Cleveland gets it next year, 2021. The Raiders get it 2022. And Oren, thank you for coming in. I am almost out. If you want to call in, Oren, that'd be good to hear from you. I'm going to take one more call. My eyes are shot. It'd be good hearing from you. A lot of respect for Oren Sherry. A lot of respect. But that, like I said, got to call in really quick. Yeah, Jefferson from Florida. That's like I said, the Jefferson whose father, I think it's John Jefferson, JJ. Kid was a good receiver with the Gators. And I think he's going to drop because of the plantar fasciitis that he had at the combine. That's my opinion. Like I said to Mike Sarah, my opinion, everybody has an opinion, everybody has an asshole, so everybody's opinion are full of assholes. Or something along those lines. I like the fact that Mike went with it, and again, I try not to berate folks, but that's just the way it is. So it looks like we don't have any further callers. So I'm going to do this. I appreciate everybody that watched the show. I appreciate everybody that was here. I appreciate everybody that does watch. I appreciate if you push this out. Make sure you're a subscriber. One thing I gotta ask is if you like what you see, give some thumbs up below. Below the YouTube screen, there's a thumbs up. There's a thumbs down. I get a thumbs down everything. Every show. But you know what? At least they're saying, hey, good, wait it. Fulton. Yeah, and again, if the Raiders can get that second round pick for Gabe Jackson, depending upon now if it's the Ravens, I don't know how many picks the Ravens have. I know they have a couple different picks in the second round. I don't know how high they are. Do you think football will be played this year? Yes, I think that football will be for pro football only because the NCAA allegedly tomorrow is going to cancel the college football season. So if you have no NCAA football, the only football you're gonna have is professional football. So I think that there will be professional football. I don't think there will be people in stands for the very beginning, at least for the early part of at least the first half of the season. At least the first half of the season. I don't think that there's going to be any people in the stands. So that's September and October. I think maybe we have people in the stands. Maybe we have people in the stands in November and December. This is conjecture. I don't know anything that nobody has told me about that. This is just me with an opinion. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody has an asshole. My opinion is worthy of an asshole. So there's my rock outro. That went by the wayside. Thank you for watching. I will see you Sunday. And remember, get your picks in for your top 5 movies. We'll do that. Thanks again, everybody. Get some rest. I know I am. Take care. We'll see you Sunday, and thank you for joining me. Get the word out, too. Bye-bye.